Mga kabayan, breaking news, isang impeachment complaint laban kay VP Inday Sara Duterte ang isinampa ngayong araw sa House of Representatives. Batay sa ilang aligasyon umano ng grave misconduct at mga paglabag sa konstitusyon, ang reklamo inendorso ni Akbayan Party List Representative na si Percy Sindanya. Kabilang sa mga nagsampa ng reklamo si Gary Alejano at 10 iba pa. Sila ay inihatid ni dating DOJ Secretary at former Senator na si Leila de Lima na tumayong tagapagsalita ng grupo. Ayon kay de Lima, hindi na dapat maghari-harian ang mga Duterte o magkaroon ng special na proteksyon sa ilalim ng batas. Hindi katanggap-tanggap na ang pangalawang pinakamataas na opisyal ng ating bansa ay nagpapakita ng pamabastos, panginsulto at kawalang respeto sa mga institusyon at mga proseso ng pananagutan.
Ngayon, pagdating dun po sa statement ni President na he would rather that no impeachment move be filed, I think this is acting like the father of our country. Alam niya na ilang buwan na lang naman natitira sa 19th Congress and napapanon lang na pagtuunan namin ng pansin ng mga ibang issues na mas mahalaga para sa taong bayan, katulad nga po ng pagkain at mga pangunahing bilihin.
Samantala, hati naman ang opinyon ng ilang mambabatas kung papaboran nila ang mga nilalaman ng complaints ng grupo ni Leila de Lima.
Kung meron na pong impeachment complaint, depende mo po sa substance, yung merits ng complaint na yon.
But I hope we don't forget the fact that impeachment is based on grounds. This is not on personality. It is about the facts that attend the facts and circumstances surrounding po an alleged violation. So we're talking about graft and corruption, betrayal of public trust, culpable violation of the Constitution.
Titignan natin kung kumpleto, no? Kailangan kasi may endorsement ng House member. Tapos titignan din natin kung yung complaint may laman, no? Di naman pwedeng impeachment complaint lang.
Ano ang masasabi mo dito, kabayan? Magtatagumpay kaya ang plano ng Makabayan Bloc at Akbayan Party List sa pamumuno ni dating Senator Leila de Lima na patalsikin sa pwesto itong si VP Inday Sara Duterte? Ito ay sa kabila ng pagpigil ni Pangulong Bongbong Marcos Jr. na ihain ang impeachment complaint laban sa pangalawang Pangulo ng bansa. Sama-sama nating panoorin ang buong video at pakicomment nyo po ang inyong mga reaksyon at sariling opinyon. Pero bago yan, sa mga hindi pa po nakasubscribe sa ating channel na Kabayan News PH, pakipindot po ang subscribe button at pakiclick na rin ang notification bell para lagi kayong updated sa mga bagong upload natin na legit at napapanahong balita. Maraming pong salamat.
At 4:30 p.m. today, the Office of the Secretary General received an impeachment complaint against Vice President Sara Duterte, filed by civil society groups. The House of Representatives is constitutionally mandated to act on any impeachment complaint filed in accordance with the 1987 Philippine Constitution. Pursuant to the Constitution, a verified complaint for impeachment may be filed by any member of the House of Representatives or by any citizen upon a resolution of endorsement by any member thereof. It is crucial to underscore that addressing an impeachment complaint is not a discretionary act for the House of Representatives, but a constitutional obligation. The Constitution prescribes clear steps to ensure fairness and adherence to the rule of law. Impeachment proceedings are vital to preserve the integrity of the institution and affirming the principle that public officials are accountable to the people they serve. Accordingly, the House of Representatives will proceed with its duties on this matter, strictly adhering to the Constitution, its rules, the principles of due process. The House of Representatives remains committed to conducting the proceedings with transparency, impartiality, and full respect for the rule of law. The constitutional mandate is a vital function of Congress in maintaining public trust in government institution. We call on all parties to allow the legal process to take its course, ensuring that truth and justice will prevail. Thank you.
Would you like to comment po dun sa recently sinabi po ni VP Sara Duterte, I think in response po dun sa statement po ni Congressman Conghon regarding dun sa, nag-stem po lahat nitong gulo nung the past weekend dahil dun sa kanyang ambisyon tumakbo. And I would like to quote VP Sara Duterte said, "The presidency of 2022 was mine already. Nanalo na ako sa surveys, lahat ng tao solid na united na for my candidacy. Pero I gave it away because I felt I had to do some other things other than being President of the Republic of the Philippines." So kindly, would you like to comment on that?
Then why didn't she run? If she had it in the bag, she should have, dapat tumakbo siya. I mean, 2025 na eh. 20, di ba? Ngayon mo pa sasabihin yan. Di sana tumakbo siya. Saka yung presidency, kita naman nating lahat sa history, destiny yan. Kung talagang para sa kanya yon, then dapat para sa kanya yon. Sorry, kasi di ba, I mean, what was that statement for? Then she should have filed to be president, to run for president, but she didn't. She filed to run for vice president, and now she's our vice president. So, that's what it is. Yun siya.
I think this is particularly for the House members. Huwag nila ako i-gaslight into saying na ako ang dahilan ng kaguluhan na ito. Ang kaguluhan na ito ay nagsimula sa terrorism nila, sa harassment nila, sa threats nila sa mga personnel of the office of the vice president.
To put it quite frankly, hindi naman, if there's smoke, there's fire. Yung mga ganyan naman, it started with a speech of Congressman Valeriano, dinala sa committee, nag-hearing, and in the course of those hearings, ang daming lumabas. Ang daming acknowledgement receipts, ang daming lumabas na pwede naman sanang sagutin. And it's not gaslighting. Again, it is what it is. Ang dami, hindi naman, di ba, kami, nagpapagod kami, nagpupuyat kami para silipin yung mga dokumento na yon, para isa-isahin. And ang dami naming nakikita. In fact, marami pa kaming nakita na hindi pa namin na itatanong. So, hindi siya terrorism on our part na we're terrorizing the OVP. Had they answered the questions from the very beginning, then sana tapos na sana yung mga hearings ngayon. Ang problema, they spent so much time not attending the hearings, and now that they are attending, di ba? So, kung sana nung umpisa pa lang, pumunta na sila, then sana tapos na, nasagot na sana nila. Yun lang.
So number one, the issue is there. There are so many questions that up to now have not fully answered. There are so many questions and the manner by which these confidential funds were spent. There are questionable ARs, which I guess only the officers in charge of encashing these funds and redistributing these funds, releasing these funds, can be fully supply us the answers, the correct answers. Unfortunately, during the course of our investigation, there seems to be an evasion, a direct evasion, to a point that there was a deliberate refusal to attend, to a point of, sa palagay ho namin sa committee, it's an attempt to frustrate the committee in finding out the truth and for a possible filing of a sound legislation that can rectify these wrongs. So ganun lang po. I think we should focus on the issue and not to dwell on concerns that may divert our attention, which is to hold anybody accountable and to promote transparency in government.
po ba yung impact, yung message ni PBBM with that? May ceasefire ba?
Yung sa good government, we were supposed to meet Friday, tama ba? No, we were supposed to meet Friday. We were supposed to meet Friday, Marian. And I remember, ako yun, I actually called the chairman na I was of personal opinion kung maari bang i-postpone yung hearing dahil nabanggit nga ng ating Vice President na she was going to skip the NBI, yung patawag ng NBI, dahil kailangan niyang pumunta sa hearing. So, and the committee agreed to postpone the hearing. So actually, dapat nung Friday nag-hearing tayo. And then, for sure naman, within the day or tomorrow, maglalabas kami ng schedule kung kailan.
Well, again, in addition to that lang po siguro, Marian, no? Binanggit po earlier, it's related to an earlier question. And I think regardless po no, of ceasefire na sasabi kung meron man, it's really a matter of consideration for the committee na baka po yung resource persons are still gathering, availability of the congressmen. We've seen as early as Friday last week, as according to Congresswoman Zamora, we were supposed to have a hearing. So tuloy-tuloy naman po talaga. It's just these considerations. But just an additional comment po, like what Congressman Adyong said, regarding sa ceasefire, I think that's very politically charged. When you say ceasefire po, parang sinasabi, it's an intentional move to cause harm of sorts, in parang gera. Like have always been calling, we've always been saying earlier, let's set aside politics po. We're just doing our job here. We're talking about transparency and accountability. So dun lang naman po yung issue natin. Whether or not the scheduling has a problem, I think that's separate naman po. But I do believe from our understanding, tuloy pa rin po yung Quadcom and good government.
Okay na, Ms. Marian?
Thank you, Marian.
Ma'am. Hello. Sirs, ma'am. Kuha lang po kami ng reaction dun po sa hinihiling na investigation sa NBI ni Kong Barbers dun sa mga vloggers na yung organized vloggers na nagkakalat daw ng maling impormasyon. Kong J.
Just to start lang po siguro, I think we all here in the House, I can't speak for them, but I think we would be in support po of the call ni Chairman Barbers. As we have noticed, although this is beyond already the scope of what's going on, as an effect, we've witnessed po kung anong nangyayari with these bloggers, and I think he also made mention of yung mga troll farms. And it seems to be a concerted effort po talaga. While freedom of speech is protected right under our Constitution, it has to be tempered rin po with responsible practice and use. And in fact, it is penalized under libel or slander. But libel mostly in relation to printed and published media. There's that safeguard. So I think what Chairman Barbers is asking for isn't anything new. It's just that he is asking for assistance given the complexity and the complexity of the issue. Kasi po when we're talking about itong vloggers and social media, you have questions of jurisdiction, you have questions of cyberspace, the issue of anonymity. Yun po yung nakakatakot po dito. We have congressmen and congresswomen who, whether or not it is related to their function, have been receiving threats. They have been receiving anonymous messages, either death threats or threats to their families. And it should be something that no one should be subjected to. Free speech is one thing, but to rely on character assassination is a totally different issue. And I think Chairman Barbers was just speaking up for the welfare of not only the congressmen, but for a healthy discourse po ng society in general. So I think we support that definitely. And we are hoping that the DOJ would help us. Kasi po, if it is proven talaga that these sophisticated schemes are being employed to really target congressmen, congresswomen, not for their personal gain, but for that political purpose, then it must be something that should be acted on po talaga. So, yun na po.
Ako, I have no problem with people having different opinions and position. Kasi that's what democracy is all about. We have to enjoy, we have to celebrate the diverse opinions, no? Yung diversity, because that's actually is fuel to keep democracy running. But unfortunately, in this kind of online landscape, we've seen troll farms, we've seen vloggers, hindi ko naman nila lahat, no, who are up for grabs. No? Sometimes they've been used by political propaganda to malign, discredit a certain perceived enemy. No? Sa akin, pag hindi ho natin ito mapag-usapan, it counters the very foundation of democracy, because how can you have a populace with informed decision kung ang binibigay mo sa kanila ay puro mali, fake, and disinformation? I guess this is a call for every one of us that in order for us to maintain a healthy communication space for everyone, dapat ho natin din magkaroon ng safeguards na hindi mahaluan ito ng propaganda, peking propaganda, at maling mga impormasyon. The only way for us to have a healthy space for conversation is to basically agree on facts. Unfortunately, naging subjective ang facts ngayon. Dahil dun yung karamihan po sa mga trolls, mga troll farms, dinidistort nila yung facts. So I guess that yun ang intention ni Congressman Chairman Barbers, that we can disagree, but at least disagree on facts. And, para sa akin, ako personally, I would support the move of Congressman and Chairman Barbers para po maprotektahan natin yung magandang spasyo sa pakikipagtalakayan sa publiko.
Okay. Next question from Billy Vegas, Avanti Politico.
Nagulo ko lang po, meron pong sinabi si VP Sara. Sabi po niya, pa-sure pa daw na dadalo siya dun sa hearing ng good government kaysa dun sa patawag ng NBI. Reaction na.
We look forward to it.
We look forward to seeing the Vice President.
I think additional comment lang po, no, in relation to yung nangyari last week. I think it's unfortunate po kasi po if you remember, meron po tayo sanang Good Government Committee nung Friday, and it was intentionally canceled to allow for the Vice President to attend the NBI subpoena set on the same date. Because at the time that the cancellation, we found out po that the VP was using the Good Government Committee as a reason po not to attend the NBI. So out of respect and courtesy, we've already had quite a number of Good Government Committee hearings. Not that we're saying one is more important than the other, but given that this would be the first and bago pala yung issue of NBI, it might concern national security. In layman's terms, nag-give way po yung committee. Ngunit hindi po nag-attend yung ating Vice President. So, again, we see it now. There's the commitment at least to attend good government, but she is giving the condition na baka hindi po sa NBI. I don't understand po siguro, di ko po naiintindihan siguro kung bakit it would be easier to commit to one and not to the other. I think that she should commit to both po, because these are both legal processes that have to be complied with. And I hope that if there's anything, I hope yun po yung gawin po niya. Thank you.
Okay, last question from Joy Cantos from Filipino Star ngayon.
Good morning po, sir. Hingi lang po sana ng reaction doon sa sinabi ng some political analysts that the president will be seen as a weak leader if the impeachment for if VP Sara will not be subjected to impeachment po. If
To answer po, no. Of course, everyone's entitled to their opinion, and that political analysts, if they believe impeachment is the only route to show strength, then we can't change that. But siguro po, ako personal opinion for this representation, impeachment is not the only avenue to exert kung ano man yung tama. As we've discussed prior, wala naman pong immunity ang Vice President. There are also possibilities for criminal accountability, criminal liability to be had through, yun nga po, and we've seen it. The PNP has filed cases, the DOJ, through the NBI started investigation. So it's not the only way to, exact accountability for those acts. But regarding impeachment po, that's a totally different matter also. And it would not come from the president. I don't know why it should reflect on the president, because the impeachment complaint should come from either a private citizen or that endorsed by the member of Congress. So if wala po mag-file, then how could that reflect po on the leadership of the executive? So I think that's just my comment for the expansion po siguro ng discussion ng political analyst na yun.
Actually, dadagdagan ko lang, no, kailangan po natin maintindihan na magkaiba po yung trabaho ng executive at saka legislative. If it's about the impeachment, possible impeachment complaint, it's entirely up to the House members, no, on how they would appreciate the merits of the possible impeachment complaints. Let's not, for me, yung position po ng President is just his personal take on that. And that should not be taken as something that maybe, as a gauge on how strong he is as a leader. I think he has so strong points naman eh. Kasi ang sinabi naman po niya doon, let's focus on nation building, let's focus on the problems. That's how he viewed that with the yung lens na yung access niya po being the top executive official in the land. No, he's the #1 president. He's running the affairs of the government. When you talk about complaint of possible complaint ng impeachment, that is purely a legislative process. Na it's again depends on how the membership, individual members will look at the merits. No, balikan ko lang po yung kaninang tanong ni ng ating kaibigan, boss. I think choosing between the two, it's not really a matter of choice. Eh. It's actually I think it's proper, and it's how a official respect the rule of law, and the demands of these cases filed before the NBI should be squarely dealt with by the head of the office, meaning the Vice President herself. So it's not really a choice between which does you favor this the committee hearing of the Quadcom or the NBI. Both are important, and if we talk about transparency and accountability, it is demanded of her to put urgency on these two venues for her to really explain, and then maybe explain her side or air her own position on the allegation that were thrown at her and her office, no. So ganun lang po, idadagdag ko lang po sa sinabi ni Kong Roch.
Sa ngalan po ng aming leader, si AML Kong Hoon, kami po ay nagpapasalamat sa inyo, aming mga kaibigan sa media. But thank you for this opportunity. We hope we're able to answer your questions. Thank you po. Good morning.
Thank you.
Kung siya.
Marami pong salamat, at maraming salamat po sa kay aming DML. Sana po ay naliwanagan namin ang inyong mga katanungan. Sa muli po, marami pong salamat.
Thank you, Assistant Majority Leader Pami Zamora, Assistant Majority Leader si Lonto Adjong, Representative Brods Gutierrez of One Rider Party List, and of course to Assistant Majority Leader Jay Kong Hoon, the roadshow manager of Young Guns for Today. To everyone, maraming salamat po ulit.
Thank you.